Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to Stellaris. A little bit ahead of what I imagine most of you were expecting, because we have gotten this, we've gotten access to it a few days early. But you notice I say we because I'm not alone.
Hi.
Say hello, Wanderbots. There
Hello.
we go. I hope I've got that right. Wanderbots, or is it Wanderbots?
So there was a random channel that was called Wanderbot, and so I couldn't take that, so I just went with Wanderbots. Because originally I started my channel with my fiance, and she's still around for some series, but then I kind of mostly went solo.
Right. I see you got the whole... Avak is usually a unique name everywhere. But when I made my Twitter, I found that there was another Avak. I was like, oh my god, really? I've never had a problem with anyone having my name anywhere. So I had to have an underscore at the end of it. I was very ashamed.
Let's see. I'm mildly distracted because I just realized right off the bat, it's like, oh, my homeworld is, or my home system is explored. That's new. I've never seen that before.
Oh, actually, that's a very good point.
I mean, it
but
makes
yes,
sense.
we're playing multiplayer. We both got machine races at the moment. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your race before we jump
so
into
I went with the assimilators because I'm lazy. I don't like conquering populations and having them be all unhappy. So, you know, just the Borg. And I don't know, that's about it. I don't really go for anything too fancy.
The assimilators. Very fond of them after my last playthrough. That went quite well, I felt. Quite well. I've actually gone for another machine race, but this time I am driven exterminators. So it's all about the pew-pew and the slaying of the primitive organics. Their time has come and gone. It's time for the rise of the machines, I think.
Yes. Let's see, before we begin, by the way, can you tell me what section of the galaxy you're in?
Yes, of course I can. There we go. Hopefully everyone watching my screen had enough time to read the intro, because obviously in collab we're not going to be reading things out quite so much. Let me open up the galaxy. There's going to be loads of different things now, by the way, everyone.
Oh,
everything's going to look different.
Yeah, so this is interesting. I can't just send out one of my military ships to come find you. I have to send a science ship to do it.
Oh yeah, of course. Obviously, we are now playing on the latest build. That is the 2.0, and things have changed. There are no longer, for those who haven't been keeping up with the news, there are no longer 3 different types of warp travel. There's just one, and that's hyperlanes. So it might actually be quite difficult for us to get to each other. But I'm towards the north of the galaxy. I am just a little bit to the west, assuming that north is same for you, that the galaxy isn't rotated in some way, but just to the west of Najagas Vale, and to the south, the east of Najagas Vale, and to the southwest of Oracle's Grave Nebula.
So I'm actually pretty much directly east of you. I'm directly next to, let's see, let me read this. Okay, Whispering Garden Nebula is my direct neighbor.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, I've got I can see, well, you know, there's about 5-6 options of where you might be. Then I can't quite see the hyperlane, so I'm not sure what's connected to what. But which system is connected to you, if you can give me an idea on the hyperlanes.
It's so Whispering Garden Nebula forms kind of like an awkward square, just straight east from that. So I'm like, okay, I'm not connected to the nebula, but I'm right there. If you find that, you found me. Because I'm probably going to put a Starbase right in there.
Okay, but yeah, things have changed massively in Apocalypse. We're both using the Apocalypse DLC, so we can blow up planets. I personally will be blowing up planets quite a lot. I'm sure that Wanderbots is going to want to keep planets because they've got precious or potential cyborg populations on them. But I'm all about just blowing everything up. I was probably just going to conquer up to my maximum colonized systems and then start blowing things up. Lazy robots. Fairly lazy robots. Robots are never lazy. Come on now, that laziness is an organic concept. But yeah, so I think we're going to unpause. Now, I don't believe with
you actually have to click pause and resume. You can't press spacebar in multiplayer.
Ah, that's annoying.
Yeah,
okay.
but I think both of us can pause and unpause. You, as the host, are in charge of speed, though. I have no control over that. But feel free to set it to whatever you want, because honestly, I usually just turn it
on fast speed. Otherwise, it's going to take us a bajillion years. Now, we are going to be basically comp stomping this one. So we are going to be working towards the unified goal of all organics.
Yeah,
dead.
everybody dead, except for us.
Yeah.
We're not alive anyway.
The humans are dead, basically. We're going to be singing that song, okay? Maybe not verbally, but in our heads, humans are dead is going to be sung a lot. Right, I need to get some research going. Right. Well, it seems fairly obvious that I'm going to want to go for power plants there, engineering. Ooh, I can go for basic strike craft straight away. I'm not sure that's going to really help.
Yeah, they unlocked. They made it so you could. You had like every basic weaponry research. So like instead of constantly like researching like basic kinetic weapon for your spaceships, it's like no, you already know how to do that. So you can get some more interesting things faster. That's
very, very good. In fact, I like that. Right, better start getting in Unity then.
Build mega structures.
Right, okay, so
can't do that.
I have no idea how to play with hyperlanes. I have never done that. I'm just going to say now.
I think the way it's more or less going to work right now is you just go along the basic hyperlanes. Everything is connected. Later on, we do actually get the tech for more advanced travel. You can make wormhole gates or whatever those are. And then you can also go back to the old method of just kind of going to anything within range. But for now, we'll have to go along. Ooh, I have a gateway.
I'm not actually noticing hyperlanes yet. I just don't see any hyperlanes on the map. Maybe I need to poke around with my science ship.
It's whatever the current spider network that's covering everything. You do see the giant like spider web covering the galaxy, yeah?
Nope. No, that's the thing. I don't see a spider web. There we go. I've got to click a map mode. See, I'm not used to these things. I suddenly see the world.
Yep.
It's great.
Yeah, so we just follow that for now. And we're limited to that. We can't skip anything. And then I think we get the ability to just fly wherever, somewhere within, like, the next 50 years.
Okay, that's cool. Now, in regards to exploration, it's going to be more of a case of getting our science ships out there.
Yeah, you have to send a science ship to scout out a new system first. Because I was actually going to just send my entire fleet, as pitiful as it is, out your direction and see if I could find you. And it's like, nope, you need a fully crewed science ship to explore the system you have no intel on. And it's like, oh, okay. Glorious cooperation has to wait a bit.
Fleet manager. Oh, there's all sorts of things here. Home base 0 station. Oh, there's so many different things.
Yeah.
I'm not used to yet.
So they changed the old like space stations that you could build to a I guess you do still have a spaceport, but you can't add like modules to it. Instead, you have a space station in your system that kind of handles that. I think it might actually just count as your shipyard. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. You that's how you expand out. You have just one central system. Yeah. I remember that now.
Yeah, so you can build modules which seem to be like shipyard for ship capacity increase. And that's where you build all your ships too. And that's also, I believe, where you build like the solar panels that you used to be able to build in like observatories. And then apparently you can like make them really beefy later on. Now, do I have to... Can I just send a science ship out your way? I guess I'll do that in a little while. So how do you make a starbase?
Well, that's what I'm looking at right now. We're both going to be very new for this, by the way. We will learn quickly, hopefully. Hopefully we'll learn quickly.
Okay. Right, so what you do is, to build a starbase, it's actually like the military base. You just select build starbase outpost with a construction ship, and it'll just go off and make it for you.
Oh, okay. That's actually
so instead of the old border ranges, I think you just build an amount of star bases. Outposts do not count towards the cap, though, so you can build as many outposts as you want. I don't know if they get blown up necessarily. I think they might, but territory is entirely based on who has an outpost in what system.
Right. I am probably going to be building a reasonably tall empire rather than a wide one. I did quite like building going tall in the last series, but I'm not going to be strictly going tall this time. What kind of playstyle are you going to have, do you think?
I usually get their new Ascension perks. I'll have to see that. Usually I get the Ascension perk to give me more core worlds, and then I stop there. And then I only do sectors if I conquer somebody. Because I don't want to deal with their stuff.
You can just add loads of different weapon systems onto your Starbase. That's actually pretty cool. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Oh man, we're going to be so poor, credit-wise, to begin with.
Yeah, I did a practice round last night, and I didn't get any, like, civic perks for energy credits, so the entire time I was just, like, skirting, running a deficit, and I'm like, I don't like this. So this time around, I'm just trying to get as much energy credits beforehand as possible.
Yeah, makes sense. And get more scientists. Oh, it just costs energy to purchase scientists now. To purchase robot leaders. I wonder if that is just because of machine pops.
You know, I don't know.
I could easily imagine that being the case. I'm going to start surveying systems generally in your direction. If we can meet our empires up sooner rather than later, that's going to be so much better for us.
Yeah, I was going to, Oh, they changed this, didn't they?
What have they changed?
Border range. So you don't have border range as an option anymore. So I usually would go with the tradition that just increased my border range. But they got rid of that, so my old Unity strategy is gone. I have to rethink.
Yeah, I'm flying by the seat of my pants right now. I'll be honest. I'm just like, yeah, that looks good. We'll go with that.
System survey concluded.
My strategy is going to be non-strategic for a little time.
You put this on medium, though, right? Or
what do you mean?
Like, what difficulty did you select? Because I think they.
Oh, I left everything default except that I slightly increased the amount of other empires because in my last game they were very few, and I took all advanced starts down to 0 just because I don't like occasionally starting right next to a really advanced civilization, especially as someone who's gonna be hated by everyone. That would be bad.
Let's see. How many other games like Stellaris have you played? You mentioned Sins of a Solar Empire, I believe.
Sins of a Solar Empire. I actually really like 4X, Space 4X specifically. So I've played a lot from Stars exclamation mark all the way up through Space Empires, pretty much all of them. Gal Civ. I haven't played Masters of Orion, which is like this big hole in my Space 4X knowledge.
So you call it Masters of Orion too? It's singular. I played Masters of Orion, the second one, when I was a kid, and so when they recently did the remake, you know, so had what was it, Wargaming or something, make a new one, which was utter garbage, unfortunately. But everybody was pointing out that I was saying it plural. There's only one Master of Orion, and it offended everybody. And I was like, I don't know how to react to this.
Oh dear.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what I started with. And except for Sins of the Solar Empire, I never actually really got into 4X strategy games. Mainly just because I didn't buy that many games. So my exposure is very focused on Master of Orion 2 and 3, and then like a little bit of Civ 2 because my parents were like, "No, you don't need any more Civ games. They're all the same." And I'm like, "No, they're not. They're not the same."
Different. Very different.
Anomaly.
I did not have much money to buy games at all, but I was free to buy the games that I wanted to buy, given that I I really had to want it to spend my money on it, basically. So had free reign in that regard. Let's see. Ooh, got some systems with decent minerals, but we're really mineral shy at the moment. Oh my lord.
I'm doing fairly well. It feels like the planets might actually have more base resources than they used to.
There are so many new ways that you can set up your empire in the 2.0 update. We haven't really gone over it, but I'll probably show my my empire. I might even actually tag that in at the beginning. So if you're hearing this now, you already know. But anyway, but I may actually just show the empire creation off a little bit, because there's so much more you can do, including if you really want to have a one planet challenge or a super tall empire build. You can start with only Gaia world preference. You can't live anywhere but on a Gaia world, but the starting planet you're going to get is going to be amazing as a result.
It also
that is really
actually
interesting to me.
It also looks like with the new Starbase system, having single planet challenge might actually work just as well, because there's no limit to the amount of outposts you can put down. So if you wanted to, you could actually just conquer the entire galaxy with one and actually have it be within your influence range.
That is actually pretty nice.
Yeah.
Have you been looking at potential choke points to your main systems?
Not really. I've got like a couple.
Okay.
I usually bank on I usually hope that my enemies won't immediately just start trying to blow me up, and then I just hold out until I have a bigger fleet than them, and then I kill them first.
Generally a good thing if you don't get blown up straight away. Now I believe that under default conditions there are less habitable planets now than they used to be. Like a lot less, from what I understand.
Hard to tell with the robots, because everything is habitable for you.
No, I mean, like, there are just less planets that are
Colonizable.
suitable for colonization at all, regardless of what they are.
I already found 2, so it's like, well, maybe. Unfortunately, they're right next to my system, and I'm like, not sure if I should go with them. Actually, I probably should. I don't know. I have 2 planets. They're not as big as I usually would go for, but they're in the same system, and I don't know if that counts against me. Yeah, colonized systems.
No, it doesn't. It's all of your, like, how many systems you can have. It's based on the system. So systems that have multiple habitable planets are extremely valuable, especially if you're trying to build a tall empire, because it usually doesn't count against you, because usually the requirements are you just have like one system or a very small number of systems, but you can have any amount of planets in there.
Research concluded.
Okay, we have found some aliens. Interesting.
Let's see.
Have you encountered anyone yet?
I have not. I'm also in, like, so you're kind of more centrally located. I am in a corner. Or a corner. I guess there's no corners on the circle. But I'm like right on the rim. So
right.
It's probably going to be a little while before I run into somebody specific.
I am trying to secure. I've noted down the presence of about 3 potential choke points that I'd like to claim and then hold, because now it's all hyperlanes. You can it sounds silly, but you can build a defensive wall in space. One of the things that I don't like about the change up to this system, because I appreciate not being able to know where the enemies are going to come from. You know, you've got complete freedom of movement. I was a big fan of that in Homeworld.
We're going to hit a certain point where that's going to happen, then all of your choke points are going to be meaningless.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's much later game though, typically. And by then, hopefully, we're going to be winning the tech game, but we'll see about that one, I guess. Right, I need to still develop my home system. Have you actually expanded out at all yet in terms of systems?
I've got 2 star bases, working on a 3rd.
Oh, I've still only got 1.
Yeah, well,
yeah, I'm trying to be very picky with the planets I go for.
Well, I haven't gotten any planets yet. I'm just building star bases to build my influence range.
Yeah.
Because since you don't need planets to expand your borders anymore, I figure the more land I can grab immediately, the better.
You've got a limit to the amount of star bases, though. You've only got a certain...
You can build 3 established star bases in the beginning, but you can build as many outposts as you want.
Oh, right. Of course, yeah, you did mention that, actually. So... Oh, there we go. First research. Fantastic. Oh, yes, survey speed. I'm definitely going to be going with survey speed this time. I just want my science ships to be doing all the things.
Usually I would avoid... survey speed. It was like, whatever, my science ships will get them eventually. Now it's like, nope, this is actually kind of important.
Yeah, it really is. All of that is important. Science ships really play a massive role now. Like a really massive role.
System survey concluded.
So when we build star bases, it's a star base, but then we upgrade it from the first level, and then it becomes like an established thing.
So if you select it and you go to the Starbase tab, so if you go to Shipyards, click on one of your star bases, you'll have 3 tabs: Starbase, Defenses, Shipyard, and you can upgrade it to from a Starbase to a Shiphold, or not Shiphold, Starhold, and stuff like that. But until then, everything is an outpost.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, and a couple of events now. I've got 3 active science ships out and about.
Yeah, I do too. I've got 1 making its way over to you, and then the other ones are trying to figure out everything nearby.
Yeah, makes sense.
So what unity do you generally go for?
It depends on the kind of build I'm going for. Right now, since I'm focused on being aggressive, I'm going for the supremacy to start with.
Okay.
Let me bring that up. Currently, I've got 2 points in supremacy. I've got modular hull templates and natural order mitigation, just to increase my fleet's fire rate, basically. As I feel that that's going to be particularly useful for me.
Construction project
I could possibly do with an extra science, an extra construction ship though as well.
Yeah, I've got 2. Considering you need construction ships to expand your borders. 2 maybe. I mean, pretty much 1 construction ship per science ship would probably make sense. Maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a very different way from how I usually play, because I'm not spending time looking at all of the different and deliberating over every chance. It's like, oh, should I research this? Should I research that? I'm just like, I'll pick this, I'll pick that, I'll pick this. Just going as fast as I can.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were about to say?
Contrary to what you said, I've already found 5 habitable planets, like within direct range. Yeah, I've got a system with 2, and then... Okay, 4. Sorry, I miscounted. I thought I saw a symbol. Anyway, but yeah, so I've got a bunch of habitable planets, like, really close to where I am. Probably not going to go for anything other than the binary world, because it's right next to home. And I don't need to worry about that anymore. That's very interesting,
because I am not seeing that happening at all for me. Now, do you build outposts in every system you want to claim?
Yeah, because that's how you expand your borders.
Right, okay.
I think you have to do that.
Yeah, it might be the case, actually.
It doesn't look like outposts have any kind of upkeep, though. So, you can kind of expand freely as long as you have the influence for it. Which means I should probably declare rivalries on everybody that I run into. Oh, boy. It's going to make it a lot harder to get new colonies if I'm expanding my borders.
Yeah, I'm really falling behind on the amount of minerals I'm bringing in. I really need to up that.
System survey concluded.
Let's see.
Construction project concluded.
Ooh, that's a nice system.
I kind of casually follow your channel. How many collaborative stuff, like, series do you generally do?
System survey.
Because
I don't do that many, actually. It's not something I do regularly. I'm always, you know, I'm not avoiding them in any... It's one of these things people will ask me, do you plan to do this? I say, I'm not planning to, but by the same token, I'm not planning to, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because I've seen... I saw that... Oh, hello. Oh, I got attacked by some random thing. I got like five or so notifications at once, and I'm like, oh, I have to pay attention to this. Thought chain broken. Yeah, I've seen that you played some Divinity Original Sin with your girlfriend, right?
My housemate, yeah.
Okay. And that was about it. Sorry, I don't know.
Yeah, I've done things like Factorio collabs. I sometimes do like board gaming. We just play little things like Talisman and stuff like that, which is actually always really fun.
Now they have a version of Talisman on Steam. Is it any good?
Yeah, that's when we play. It's really fun. It takes a long time. Ooh, right. Okay, looks like they are going for the same choke point. Damn. Oh,
so you actually have a fair number of neighbors?
Research concluded.
I've found one so far, but they have claimed the system I was going to claim.
Well, you can always declare war, blow the thing up, and then, you know...
Yeah.
Call it quits on that war. It'd probably not work.
Research concluded.
Let's
I
see.
need to get a lot more combat ships, though. That much is very clear. So I haven't actually been building... Ah, damn it, they've already expanded into that area. That's gonna be annoying. But, okay.
Oh. That's cool. So you can put trading hubs on your space station.
Yep. Oh, wow. You can just get improved, like, Corvette hulls. So my Corvettes can just have extra 100 hit points. For hull tanking, that's really nice.
I like what they've done with the tech. It feels a lot more interesting now.
Yeah.
Well,
that is a little bit of a pain. I'm grabbing that area, because now I'm going to have to try and protect in many more places than I would want it to.
Oh. Let's see. It's actually a habitable world. That's helpful. Do you have to make a whole colony ship to colonize another planet inside, like, a system you're in?
Ship sustaining damage.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you'll always have to make another colony ship, unfortunately.
Huh. I don't know if I lost a ship. I came to see you, but
survey concluded.
I think... I don't actually... They might come back. I went to the black hole, which is kind of near you, to see if I could get to where you are, and there's a bunch of aliens there. There's a dimensional horror right there. So I might have just lost my science ship. But yeah, if you're looking for a choke point, that thing...
that sounds like a natural choke point. I'll just leave it be. You don't have to worry about being attacked from that direction. For now. I need to increase my fleet strength a lot, unfortunately. Let me have a look at my ship design.
I almost never even bother with military until 2230? Maybe even further. I'm very timid.
Interesting. We've already got a little thruster.
It does look like you don't have to take every system, though, if you're running low on influence or minerals. Like, as long as you've surveyed a system, you can build an outpost there. So if you wanted to make, like, a giant, like, influence ring that nobody can go past, I bet you could do that.
Very interesting new design. You've got the missile boat, which has a G slot. I guess that's guided missile of some sort, or you've got the interceptor with just 3 guns on it. Very interesting little setup here. Very interesting indeed.
Let's see. Ship designer? Is that?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I've met the...
Fields too.
Huh.
This is so curious.
Yeah, you even get to design the... Well, I think you could always design the defense platforms, but I think you have a lot more flexibility now. Corvette. Where are you seeing these, like, guided things, or is that all science?
No, it's in the vehicle decider, and you choose the different kind of section for the ship.
Huh.
But previously, you could just put missiles into a low slot, into a weapon slot, and it would just go there. But now you actually need a specific slot for missiles, which is actually really, really interesting.
I don't know if I've gotten to that point yet. I don't have any kind of text sitting around. I don't have like a visual option for that.
Construction project concluded.
Okay.
I'm loving these this new ship set. I'm really, really a big fan of this.
Concluded.
It looks great. I'm going to enjoy this a lot.
So have you played any of the other I guess grand strategy games by these guys or no? Like,
I haven't played Europa Universalis, which is usually the one that people think about when they think Grand Strategy and Paradox. I have played Crusader Kings though.
Okay.
And Crusader Kings 2 rather.
I had never seen or like played them before, and then one of my fans was like, "Yeah, you should try out Europa Universalis or whatever," and looked at the DLC and I'm like, "No." And then, like a year or two later, they're like, no, you really should try this. And I'm like, okay, well, the DLC isn't so bad because, you know, I have a job now. And then, like, so I'm like, okay, I'll just go take a look at, like, what other people do. I think it was, like, Northern Lion series. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, see, the thing that keeps me from trying that is it does seem like it's a way of life more than a game. So I'm not really sure about that one at all. I would like to get into it, but it seems like it would be a big cost.
Usually when I like hit an impasse like that, I'm like, I'll just come back to it whenever they make a sequel, and that'll be the jump-in point. Like that was it for Monster Hunter with me. I was like, I have Monster Hunter try. But I didn't, like, really want to get into try because it looked like it was going to be, well, it was old and, like, the network features probably weren't functional anymore and a bunch of stuff like that. And then they're like, oh, yeah, Monster Hunter World's coming out. And I'm like, yes, I can record it.
Yeah, I've really, really been enjoying Monster Hunter World so much.
I think I enjoyed it too much. I recorded... I want to say 70-something episodes in about 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, I stream for, like, 5 to 9 hours a day. And so, like, if I want to, that all just becomes YouTube footage. And so I was like, well, my audience like this. I like this. I'm just gonna record a whole bunch of this.
Yeah, why not?
Construction project concluded.
People are into it, definitely.
It was like a steep drop off. I like took a night off for our weekly D&D session, came back and the entire audience was gone, and I was like, well, this is a sign. Streaming is weird and scares me.
Yeah. I dabble with streaming where I can because I do enjoy streaming, but yeah, it can be a bit. Well, yeah, like you say, take a night off and suddenly it's like, yeah, half my audience isn't there anymore. That's interesting. But yeah, I've had some. I guess I approach streaming as my downtime, which is still work in a way. Whereas YouTube, I sit down, I record, I do my stuff, and that's done. And I approach it in a very different way, much more methodical. And I've got kind of like a work schedule. With streaming, I just stream when I want to and what I want to. And hopefully there's going to be someone else who will want to watch the same thing. And there almost always is. I remember just one random night I decided, I'm going to stream Black and White 2 because I haven't played that in ages. Wow, people lap that up it was wonderful because I wasn't expecting many people to be on board with it, but no, there was definitely a desire to see old school games like that. It was really quite refreshing.
I never actually played any of the black and white games. Pretty much any Molyneux game I just kind of stayed away from because I was just like, these seem weird.
yeah, Molyneux, I guess. Yeah. I totally understand where you're coming from with that. But wow, you're missing out. Black and White, amazing. Black and White 1 was better for the creature because it was one of the probably the first games that really employed a neural net. And then Black and White 2 was a more gamified version of that, but unfortunately lost the things that I found most interesting about the kind of science behind Black and White, which, you know, you take the good with the bad, I guess.
I was much more of a CRPG kind of guy when I grew up. So every Baldur's Gate game, Icewind Dale, and play them forever. Oh,
Icewind Dale is one of the few that I didn't play.
It was...
I think I got absorbed in... I can't remember when Icewind Dale came out, but I got Icewind Dale at the same time I got Planescape Torment. And Planescape Torment basically devoured my life.
Well, yeah, that's... Planescape Torment was probably better. Icewind Dale had really, really good combat. Because... Like, did you ever play Baldur's Gate or nah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I played Baldur's Gate, yeah.
Baldur's Gate never felt particularly balanced. It's like, oh yeah, here's a lightning bolt. Lightning bolt just wrecks everybody. Here's like your party, half of them are garbage. Just because of, like, kind of them being pre-generated. Icewind Dale, instead of having, like the main character that's the only one you create, Icewind Dale is just like, no, everything is just all yours to create and customize and whatever. Go nuts.
Yeah.
And so, like, it was much more of a dungeon crawl, I think, because the dungeons were deep and you didn't do as much dialogue. But I'm fairly certain Planescape Torment blew it out of the water. Did you play the more recent Planescape? Because I've only ever heard mixed things on that.
I haven't played that, but I have been looking forward to playing it. So I really do hope it's good.
Unfortunately, after Divinity Original Sin, CRPGs have felt a little flat for me, which I feel kind of bad about.
Oh, I think I'm loving Divinity Original Sin. I love the first and the second. And I would say that I'm quite fond of Pillars of Eternity as well. I like CRPGs. I really do enjoy that. I wish I had more opportunity to play them on the channel.
Yeah, they're just, I think, too long for me generally. Also, yeah, I can't stand reading for that long. That actually, like, really gets to me because my voice starts, like, dying.
Oh right, yeah. I actually don't mind the reading too much at all, actually. But one thing, I appreciate that when a new RPG comes out, you're not going to get many views because anyone who intends to pick the game up doesn't want to watch it.
Yeah,
they don't want spoilers, so it's a rock and a hard place. I really want to cover it, but at the same time, knowing that there's not going to be as much viewership there, except for the people who don't intend to pick it up, and then out of those people, only half of them are going to want to watch it anyway, because half of the ones who don't want to pick it up is because they're not interested in the game. The other half, their computer isn't good enough, or they might not have the money.
That's actually what made it so I couldn't play The Witcher 3. I started playing it, and everybody's like, "This is awesome," but I can't watch. And so, like, I went from Fallout, I think, to Witcher 3, and I was like, yeah, people, they're similar enough. People would be interested, and they're all like, nope, no spoilers, bye. And I'm like, no. Oh, I got a pirate.
Henchbot. Oh, I like that. That's fantastic. Almost over to you now.
No. Why are you doing this, pirates? This thing is
such
expensive.
a small area compared to yours. Oh my lord. You've gone in a much more logical way because I'm so unused to playing with hyperlanes or this border system at all. I have not expanded well. Oh my lord. Really quite badly. But I'm slowly getting back on top of things.
So there are random pirates that'll come in now, the Marauders. Very Sins of the Solar Empire-y. And so I have some Marauders currently trying to take the piss out of one of my outposts.
You've already got them. I haven't encountered them yet.
Yeah. So I'm trying to, like, hurriedly build a defense platform to see if I can get rid of them faster.
I just spied a system I really want to take. Really want to take. Unfortunately, it's on the other side of these guys. So I think I'm going to have to go to war. It's going to have to happen.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Right.
I assume you are at 0?
Construction project
yeah.
concluded.
Oh, really? I can't declare rivalry? We
With
do
me?
not negotiate with flashlings. No, I can't do anything but declare war. Wow, I love this. I can't even declare them a rival. It's like, we are determined exterminators. We do not negotiate with flashlings.
That's funny.
That is amazing. So I can't get unity, influence like that. I'm just gonna have to straight up go to war. Okay, well I hope I've got enough ships for that, because I don't think I do.
Let's see, communicate. Can we...
Maybe I can pull them into fighting me. That might be the better way to do it. Or just conduct raids.
I've sent you a long treaty if you want to go for it.
Active sensor link, research. Yes. Oh, we can already have research agreements? That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, you just start with those. It's awesome.
Yeah, there's so many things I wasn't even thinking of trying because I'm not used to being able to just do that.
Okay.
That's brilliant.
You're dealing with the hegemony.
Yep. The Brill hegemony. That's not something I'm too happy about, but oh well. I think I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and go to war. I mean, I've got a lot of bonuses to my warfare, so... Sod it. Legion 01. Let's go. Actually, yeah, I'm not going to have everything called 01. I refuse. This can be Legion... 10. Yeah. I know binary. There we go. I'm not going to have a planet called 01, a system called 0, and a legion called 01. I mean, it makes sense because it's a legion, not a planet, but nevertheless.
I'm not very good at naming things, so I'm usually just like, let's just go with something easy.
Hooray! I may
know.
have minerals.
Construction project concluded.
Yay.
But yeah, it seems that now that we're doing like this, I guess your population does not in any way affect how much border range or anything you have, which is a very different way of things happening.
Yeah, it's just based on outposts, which is actually kind of nice. Because that means that, like, in a war, if you wanted to, you could probably just go blow up, like, everybody's little, like, outposts and really, like, wipe them off the map. Or leave them and, I guess, conquer. Because I believe if you, I believe if you take, like, some section of space, or maybe it's part of, like, war demands, you can demand, like, I want your stuff.
Demand war. That's really interesting.
Yeah, it's under Cassius Belli or something now.
Ah, right. So it's going more towards the sort of CK2 side of things.
Maybe? No, I can declare war. Huh.
I can't, for some reason.
You might just automatically be at war with them? Or some equivalent of?
So.
No.
Let's see. Can I even get in there? No. Close their borders towards us. I can't seem to claim that in any way. That is rather interesting. Is there something I can do? Let's have a look. Declare war. I have no war goals. Click a war goal to select it. What I seek to achieve is your complete and utter annihilation. However, can't seem to do that. Oh, most frustrating. I must confess. Maybe I've got to have a... Well, I've got a border there. Oh, maybe I've got to have a link to it in some way. Like a direct link.
Oh.
That might be it. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to grab a area right next to it then in order to expedite this. Right, that might make sense. I might have to have my borders literally right next to it in order to be able to do that.
Research concluded.
That's fine, if that's the case. But we're definitely learning about this as we go.
Yeah.
Or at least I am.
It's not so bad so far. I'm finding it fairly self-explanatory. The main problem is just when you already know, like, how the game works in, like, one way and they've changed it, you're like, oh, I have to... This is different.
Yeah, it's kind of like the way when I went onto the Firaxis reboot of XCOM. Oh my lord, I would consider myself a very good XCOM player. I played the original to death. To the point where I could, even on the hardest difficulties, even with challenges like starting in Antarctica, it became a win by numbers kind of experience for me. And so I went into the Firaxis XCOM thinking, oh yeah, this will be easy. There'll be a few things different. And I almost destroyed myself by making assumptions on how things worked.
Oops. I actually have not played much of the original. I played long enough to know that I couldn't even shoot something, and I lost, I think, my entire team of like 10 guys or something. I was just like, okay,
Initial colonization phase commencing.
I am just going to, I'm just gonna leave this for you know, the history books and, just play the new one. And then I usually got pissed at the new one because they'd always snipe me from afar with like a 5% hit chance, and I'm like, this is dumb.
Well, that's the thing. I actually found that the newer one was a little bit too predictable. So I tend to play with things like damage roulette because otherwise I feel like it's just like playing a game of chess. You know that a queen can always move in this way and will always do this. Like, for example, when you take... You know,
I like
you're
the
always
predictability.
Me, I'm all about the random. I like having to have backup plans for my backup plans, just in case. And that's what damage roulette gave me.
Let's see, what's a good example? Actually, did you see any of the Mario and Rabbids like Kingdom Battle or whatever that game was on the Switch, or did you not see much of it?
No, I didn't see much of that, I'm afraid.
It's like a dumb crossover game between Mario and Rabbids that plays kind of like I'm gonna say a dumbed down version of XCOM to some degree.
Right, okay.
And it's really good. Like, it's really fun, and that kind of shocked me because I was not expecting it to be very good at all. But all of the units always did the exact same amount of damage, like generally no variation. They had, like, you know, very specific and predictable moves, movement range, so on and so forth. And it was really satisfying to play because it almost felt more like a puzzle game than a than anything else, and that was actually really cool.
Construction project concluded.
Ah, there we go. The Brill Hegemony can now use the containment Cassius Belli against us. Well, can I do something else? We can now use the purification Cassius Belli against the Brill Hegemony. Fantastic! I can finally go to war and kill you. I hope. Hopefully, death is going to be something I can do.
Established communications.
Oh no! I've got pirates!
Yeah, I've got a little pirate system set up near me, and I'm like, nope. You die.
I love how, basically, in response to everything, instead of join us, it's target identified. It's like, yep. Yeah, this is gonna be good. And we've discovered someone. Oh, someone in between us. Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting, actually.
Oh yeah.
And by interesting, I mean a little bit worrisome.
You know, I realized now that we can kind of control what systems we have, I could write lewd messages on the galaxy for people.
Project concluded.
I see.
I don't think I would do it, but I'm just imagining playing this with, you know, somebody else at a later date. And, you know, I've mastered the game to the point where I know what I'm doing. So just leave like "Hi Evac" written in the stars just for you to like zoom out and be like, "Are you writing a message for me?" I'm not gonna do it. It's way too much work. But the possibility is there.
I need to get over here. I've got a pirate fleet. Being scallywags. Hopefully my fleet can get over there in time.
Are they hitting your base? Because pirate fleets aren't actually that good. You could
No,
always
they're
just
actually
build, like,
they're actually fighting the Tayanaki. They're probably going to die to the Tayanaki.
Oh yeah,
Space whales. That's fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I like.
They're getting crushed by the space whales.
They're just leaving me alone, but they're annihilating these pirates. I feel a little bit bad for them.
I feel bad for the whales. They didn't do anything. I feel like you should be able to, like, herd the space whales. Like, I always feel bad with the, like, you know, neutral creatures that are just hanging out. And it's like, I kind of want to just, like, corral them somewhere and then just, like, keep them as pets.